Hey guys, Adam Fenig here with Fenig Equipment, and you're tuned into the Talking Shed. Today, we're going to talk spike closing wheels, but more specifically, that Yetter Twister closing wheels. How many times have you heard that phrase in the last couple years? The Yetter Twister or the Yetter Poly Twister. It's a name that everyone has begun to know. Mainly because a lot of guys are running these wheels. It's got an extremely high return on investment, and Beck's is really putting their staple on this closing wheel as having a high return on investment and being the ultimate closing wheel for all types of different scenarios. Now, there's a few secrets behind this wheel. One of them is that twist. If you can see, it's got kind of a blockier point to it. It's not a real sharp point. So we do get some dirt movement as this wheel is spinning and those lugs are coming together. Now, something to note, the way these twists go, these wheels actually interlock whenever you're spinning. And you think, well, how in the heck could that be possible? Well, what happens is, as it comes down, the other wheel interlocks with it as well. And so that's why you get a stitch pattern or a zipper pattern. Hey guys, Adam Fenig here with Fenig Equipment. You're tuned into the Talking Shed. Today, we're going to talk closing wheels, but more specifically, the Yetter Twister. How many times have you heard that saying in the last couple years? Yetter Poly Twister, or just the Twister name in general. It's become the most popular closing wheel on the market, and it's not due to anything other than the fact that it fits all types of planing conditions and works extremely well. In this video, we're going to break down the secrets behind this wheel, what makes it so successful, why you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a two-stage closing wheel system in most conditions, and why the Poly Spike closing wheel has got such a high return on investment for your farm. So if you look, Cody, if you come in here, this Poly Spike, we've talked about it a long time. It's got the knobbier or more surface area point versus some of these other Poly closing wheels that have got a sharp point like a flathead screwdriver. This one's got a lot more surface area. There's a left and a right to this closing wheel. If you look right here, you can see the R with the arrow of direction. And so this would be a right, of course. Now, one thing is these wheels, when they're spinning, they actually interlock or intermesh, and you think, well, how could that be? Well, when this wheel's going through the ground, the other wheel, because of the dirt that's pushed up into the center, it follows in between that lug to get a true stitch or zipper effect. If you watch a closing wheel go through the field, it actually is a true stitch. You won't see two lugs right side by side, so they interlock. That's another one of the secrets behind it. But we have had these used in, of course, on soybean planters. Beck's this year spit out a 5-bushel advantage on corn on this simply by putting on this closing wheel. It doesn't get much better than that. Now, I do want to dig into the different variations of closing wheels that you're looking at here, as they do all hold the twister characteristics, but some of them have just got a few different variations. Let's start over here. This is the newest version of the twister, and it is a cast ring on a Poly chassis. So this center right here is a factory chassis like what you would see on a standard rubber closing wheel. What you do is you take it apart and you can put a cast chassis on there. The beauty of this is you get the longevity of the full cast wheel on a lighter weight frame. So that brings us to this cast wheel. Of course, this is as heavy duty as it gets. It's got the cast, of course, so we've got the heavy duty properties, the longevity built into it. However, personally, if you're ever in conventional or some really nice mellow soil, this wheel could get plenty heavy on you. The pair of them weigh 35 pounds collectively, and that's just a lot of weight that we're putting down on that surface area for that seed to fight back through. Right here we've got the short Poly. This is used a lot on soybean planters or some shallower seeded plants. I really like this one on soybean planters though. It's the same thing, just a little bit shorter. And this one we're not going to talk much about because it's the standard poly spike twister. It's the one everyone knows and sees. But I do think there's a place for every variation on different parts of the country, whether you're in strip till or rocks or sand. I think that this poly ring is going to start coming in handy. We've sold plenty of the casts as well, but I think once we determine that, of course, the twisters for you, we then need to land on which variation fits your soil type and your planter best. The best advice I have is give Pfennig Equipment a call today. Talk to us. We'll walk through your planting conditions, and we will help you hone in on exactly which wheel prescribes to your farm and your operation to get the best emergence. Again, closing the trench is not hard. Picking the right closing wheel is not hard. So you don't always need those two-stage systems with all the airbags and sensors. What is hard is to get a good return on investment on those systems. Look hard into the poly spike closing wheel or any variations of that twist. Give Pfennig Equipment a call today, and thanks for tuning in.